Well, with today's shoot, how it actually started, they sent us some references with the hair just basically coming around the face. Some of them were wearing sunglasses, so it's kind of a bit of a kitsch kind of story. There was one image where the hair was almost wrapped around the whole face completely, which I preferred that. And then after being out at the weekend, I went to this fetish club. So there was a lot of people with masks on, with chains around their faces. And so I kind of took all those ideas I had and then kind of brought it into the shoot. The whole idea kind of changed a bit more, but for me, it actually looked 10 times better. So it was the idea was great at the end. Started when I was 18 in a salon. I was quite lucky because I actually started as a junior, but only did 8 months in the salon because they put me in through a competition after 3 months. And then I won the competition, which then meant I went on a cutting, a 4-month cutting course. Within the salon, and then so they qualified me after 8 months. Generally people do 3 years, so to do it in that space of time was the quickest time they'd done it with the company I'd worked for. And so within 2.5 years I was the assistant manager. Then I started becoming the teacher, started doing all the basic teaching. But then I left there to become an instructor for a company called Allen International, which was around about 15, 16 or maybe 20 years ago actually. So and I worked there for about 2.5 years. Then we started doing photographic work there, which then kind of got me into doing, or taking me where I am now really. So I left there and then went into an independent salon in Soho, and then they were doing photo shoots. So I kind of got into doing it from them really. I will never know everything. I mean, there's still so much to learn, and it's kind of whether you pick up bits, and you kind of learn by mistakes still. I still learn by mistakes, do you know what I mean? By playing around with the hair, then realising if you did this, actually it looks quite cool doing that. It was like on today when it was a little bit of an eye-opener because I didn't really quite know where I was going to take it, but then started playing around, doing different things. And it's good to do jobs like this where you can push yourself, because a lot of the time at the moment there's a lot of commercial stuff where you have to, everything's quite set. This is how we want it to look, so you aren't learning, do you know what I mean? So can get a bit stagnant on that level, so it depends who you're working with. One job I remember doing, but again, beginning of my career, we was doing a L'Oreal hair job, and there was this one particular model decided to cut the middle of her hair off right through the set, at home. She was going to crop her hair off the night before the L'Oreal shoot, so she rocked up with this little mohawk bit through the middle, so we had to somehow try and cover up. But that was before digital, do you know what I mean? But that was one of the only major nightmare, I think, that I can remember. I think at the moment, I mean, we are still going through an 80s influence, and I think the reason being is that there's such a wide variety of what the 80s were. It wasn't like a bob, or it was kind of, you can asymmetric hair colour, you can perm it, you can curl it. There's such a wide spectrum on that level. So I think 80s will be around for quite a while, and especially because of what's going on with, globally in a sense, with everything. The 80s was, you could put a cheap topper with an expensive topper. It's all about mixing everything up rather than making it of, one certain look. So I think 80s is still obviously going to be around for a while longer.